don't have anything to read, right?
You're on YouTube already.
All right. Tonight's what? Hey, subscribe.
Dude, you
like.
Yeah, perfect. Camera looks great. Don't be jumping into it.
Make sure and like and subscribe and comment below.
Oh, there you go. Now I don't know.
Guys.
Hey.
Make sure and like and subscribe and comment below.
What's your name? That's what they always ask.
What's your name?
Mm-hmm.
Nerf this.
Exactly. All right, you ready?
Yeah. We need a new intro song.
We got another one. Got that weird one. You know? Nikolai. Dude, fucking jam my knife into my hand. I mean, bad. It's really deep, but like I broke my back. It's spinal.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission.
It's you just turned red again.
July 18th, 2017. 17,
not 18. Not yet.
July 18th, 2017.
What'd you say? 7/17/17?
Yeah, it's time to break those
That's
chains.
yesterday.
Water that tree. I'm Red on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
If you haven't checked out our live YouTube feed, check it out. It's usually... Do we have any kind of an announcement?
Oh, well, I sent it on Facebook.
If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get an email saying...
Not only that, but if you click the bell, it'll alert you. Yeah. So if you subscribe and then click on the bell, it'll send an alert to you. So that way you can get up to the date Spearhead Transmission.
You can watch it live while it happens.
Yeah, and you can interact.
It's like watching a dumpster fire.
and comment about it.
Yeah. You can make comments.
And the dumpster fire will talk back to you.
Yeah, witty comments, and it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight's podcast is going to be, I wouldn't call it short, but it's not going to be as long as it usually is, just because it's a hectic week at the...
oh, man. These guys are already chiming in on YouTube. Red Nikolai. And then...
It's a hectic week in my house. I've freaked myself out, and... I was going to enjoy my last few days watching the movie with my wife if I can, and just give myself nervous diarrhea about the
shits,
the run and gun. I feel
you're not helping yourself by eating hot peppers and adding to your nervous shits.
My entire training calendar throughout the year of working out all
revolves around
this, right? And it's funny is like I don't know how to say it right.
You don't push yourself hard enough throughout the year, and then you get to this point, and you're like, man, I haven't trained hard enough.
Just like testing in school, you know, like, oh shit, test tomorrow. Time to get some new shoes. Time to do this and do that. Like, pull some shit out of the bag now, and. It's funny is it's not a big deal, right? It's like it's not a big deal at all if I were to completely bomb it
but it is a big deal. I don't know what you're talking about.
Completely fail or have to stop because it's going to be 102 degrees or whatever. But it is in my head a big deal because I don't want that. I don't want to have to stop. Like I'm going to feel weak if I have to stop. I mean, not to say that anybody that does stop during it, because it's going to be hot as shit this weekend. There's no doubt. But it's too late to worry about it now. That's awesome. So, you know what I mean? Like, nothing wrong with it. But in my head, everything's wrong with it. I don't.
So,
and and the thing is I want everybody that goes there to like do really well. But at the same time, I want everyone else to fuck up and me to win. You know what I mean? So
I know
I'm conflicted.
So, all right. So I agree with you 100% on your assessment of. I didn't train this year, right? For it. So in the last minute, I'm like, I've got to run this week. So I start to run. It's hot it's not even as hot as it's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's...
I was fine until I looked last year because I was like, well, I did it last year. I did 20K last year.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it sucked. It sucked really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sucked.
Okay.
And I was like, so it'll be about the same. Well, it was 10 degrees. Over 10 degrees cooler last year is the high. It was 88. That still doesn't seem right because when I got done, I remember being hot as shit.
Yeah.
Like I had what you're talking about, that dry, hot skin.
Yeah, where that's
dragging,
like on the verge, right?
Dragging around. And
right now, what you look like in YouTube, that's what you.
So I'm thinking there's two places to possibly get wet. I'm going to look like a dog. You know, you go walk a dog and it sees a mud puddle. It goes and rolls.
Rolling around in it.
I'm going to get in that fucking water.
You're going to set your pistol up on the...
Yeah.
Set your rifle up.
Yeah,
and just...
and I'm going to go. Am I getting that pond at that when I'm running into that hill? I think I'm going to swim across there.
Man, that would be impressive.
You know what I mean? Cool off.
It would cool you off.
Okay, so Nick's saying that last summer was hotter than hell. I thought so, too.
I would guess where I was. I was in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I was... I did do the 20K in the winter, and I tapped out of the 20K
2 years ago.
in the summer when it was just you, I, and Al and
Alonzo.
But he cheated again.
Dude, how is that 2 fucking years ago already?
I don't know. It was 2 summers ago.
I've got perfect attendance for the Pawnee running gun.
Yeah, you do.
From the beginning. Except the one when they're still in Henrietta in the developmental stages, and I skipped that one. I had to make a makeup exam.
I do remember that.
My daughter was born.
I'm going to tell you something about the Henrietta runs. That loop, I know we talked about that, is harder than the 10K at Pawnee.
It's 2 miles? 2 points?
Yeah. It's harder than the 10K at Pawnee.
I thought I was going to die on that one year.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know. So I've been running in the afternoon, which still isn't 5 o'clock in the evening when it's hotter and shit out.
Uh-huh.
No, I was at home today. I got home. I went out back. My kids are in the pool. I was like, I'm gonna sit out here in my jeans and my dress shirt and just sweat. Like that's doing something. You know, at this point in time, like I'm training. That's like if they're making a
it's
Rocky
like me
move,
running this week.
Rocky movie of me. They got the Soviet guy out there like throwing logs over and it's burning hot, and I got me sitting on the back porch in my work clothes.
What are you doing? I'm training. So all right,
hard.
So it is true that we kind of throw everything in the last minute and start to like flip out a little bit, right? Like, so we went out. I think we talked about it on the podcast last week. We talked about going out and shooting.
Is your mic on?
Yeah. Why? Can you not hear me?
Go. I couldn't.
Oh, so I'm maybe a little low. I don't know, but we went out and shot right with Cody, right?
Uh-huh.
And he let it.
He took us on that circus course.
Right.
It's like a fun house.
That's 300 yards away.
This actually, is like the mirrors with the look.
Those bullets actually do this.
Yeah.
On his. Anyways, so couldn't hit anything. But I want to say thanks to Cody because he was like totally. He took my rifle apart, like all the way. Fixed it.
Found parts made in China.
Right.
Or one part made in China.
Yep. That was the scope mount. But that was the thing that was the tightest. So he fixed the entire rifle, and I just want to say thanks to him.
We got salt pills for you, Cody.
Uh-huh.
And the podcast is donating for the winner of the 20K unless one of us wins it, which is possible.
Well,
it's possible.
It's the 500-yard shot is kind of a big determiner, right? Like a big determining factor.
So we're donating a H&B hand-forged shipbuilder axe that we picked up at Green Beetle.
Builder.
What I call? Shipboarder?
You just sound like shit builder.
Oh, well, shit builder. Because a lot of people in Oklahoma need to build ships with axes. But anyway, it's an awesome axe, and it's small. You can use it, whatever. Build a ship, chop trees down, make firewood.
It's nice.
Just carry it to work.
I want it.
And it will also come with an added bonus, a custom-made sheath or blade cover.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, made by Fiction Leatherworks by
.com.
.com, made by Kalen himself, who's been on the podcast, which I asked him to make it at first, and he said, no, I'll do it next year. And then he said, wait, yes, I will do that. So he's been working on it. Looks great. Looks
it does.
awesome.
He's putting hard work into it. So next year possibly I'll have my blacksmith forge, and I'll be able to forge my own axe. I won't be able to hit anything with it. It'll likely break.
Yeah. I was thinking after we got the axe, I was like, shit, we should do something for each place, but there's so many places now that fuck, we'd be broke unless we get more YouTube subscribers. So make sure and subscribe on YouTube and
click the bell.
Yeah. And listen to the podcast. Whatever.
Do both.
Yeah, both will help.
But,
kind of going back to what we're saying.
But Nick, what's his name? The guy who wins the 5K? Nick Q. We're not going to get him anything. Yeah. He's got it locked up. He'd have axes all day long.
Yeah.
See?
Just buy it, take it to his house. Like, hey, here you go.
There you go. We'll just have it hand engraved beforehand.
Yeah, hold it up when you win. Dude, I haven't seen the video, but there's a video floating around of this guy training. Lays down, drops one round, hits the 500-yard target, stands up, drops another round, hits 500-yard target from
standing.
Yeah. It's unreal.
I don't understand. Like,
This
I don't
whole
understand.
time-
And here's the deal: is he has glasses, so that means his vision is not 100%, right? Like, so he's got glasses, so that's not an excuse. Okay.
Well, it's funny.
Or does he have like special glasses? Does he got those Jerry Mitchell glasses that everybody has?
Keeps your face flat.
Make your face flat.
Got to stay flat to the target.
Makes you see into other dimensions. You can control the bullet.
The excuses thing, right? Like, there's a lot of people I talk to that, not specific to this, but just to like training in general. Like, there's a guy at work that's going to start working out. He said, I was at church and some guy bet that I couldn't run around the parking lot, and I told him I could, and I did. Now I'm going to start doing this, and now I'm doing this from couch to 5K.
Wait a minute.
So
you bet somebody couldn't run around the parking lot.
All I imagine is like King of the Hill. Like, everyone just kind of
oh man, at church.
Yeah,
I bet you can't run around this parking lot.
Bullshit. I'll show you right now. Well,
Bull Dookie.
So, a lot of people like, I'm drinking a gallon of water at work trying to prehydrate for this heat exhaustion I'll be treated for on Friday.
Are you going to do the Gatorade?
Gatorade makes me feel. I'm gonna do because I'm peeing a lot, so I'm sure I'm losing some electrolytes. So I'll do a little electrolytes. I don't know, or just drink cold pop.
Get you a cold pop. No, so you're not gonna do the Gatorade, but you did do the Gatorade during the winter 20K, and you did well. I'm just saying, do you want to change what your routine is?
You're right.
I'm just saying, like it was effective, and I don't know if you want to change it.
You're right, and when you're right, you're right. And with you, you're always right. You know what movie that is? Spaceballs. That's what Barf says to
Ham
Lone Star.
No, Lone Star.
Ham salad.
Ham.
So anyway, like a lot of I got this gallon of water I'm filling up. I hate carrying the gallon of water around because I don't want to be one of those guys that's like just carrying water around, right? Because it's almost like you want someone to ask, like, do you work out? Like, oh yeah, I drink 2 gallons of water a day because, this or that, like whatever. I'm drinking it because it's better than me walking back and forth to the kitchen to fill up my little whatever metal water bottle is.
Yeah.
Well, guys like, I was in there filling up. He's like, I remember those days when I used to do that. And then, here come the excuses, right? Like, I don't work out anymore because I have kids. I have kids. I don't work out anymore because I have, hurt this or hurt that. Like, right now, my fucking hips hurt.
Yeah.
My back's hurt. My knees hurt. So far, that's it, right? But and I don't want to, do the whole mountain gorilla jerk-off session, but, that one post he wrote about, like, you may have a bad knee, right? But don't blame it on the bad knee. Take responsibility and say, you know, this is the best I can do. I'm going to do the best that I can do with what I've got. But don't make that as your crutch. Like, well, I can't win this because you know, my shoulder pops, or you know, my knee's bad, or whatever. Like, there's people with a lot, you know, like Nick's got glasses, you know. He shoots amazing.
They might be, though. Those glasses might be Mitch glasses.
Interdimensional glasses. But you know,
and he said that he's way too damn old and fat to run a 10K. But every time I see him, he's running. That might be a pillow that he's got tucked in there too. It's just like
he's pulling an owl right now. Like, oh, you guys are training hard. Dude, do you have a fucking weight vest on under that T-shirt? Trying to hide it from everyone that you're running around with a weight vest on? No, but it sucks for everyone, right? Like, there's always people that say, you know, like, oh, I can't. You know, my brothers told me that I can run fine. I just get out of, you know, my legs don't get tired. I just get out of breath. Like,
yeah. I mean,
so does everyone else. It sucks for everyone. It's
that's the truth.
Mentality that, you know, they try to get rid of you, get out of you in the military. Remember that? You know, not to feel sorry for yourself, because you know when you're doing PT, you're like, man, no one else is having trouble with this but me. You know, this is harder for me than it is anyone else here.
I have a theory about that, because so here's the deal. When I was in the military, I was in really good running cardiovascular shape, right? I could do shit tons of push-ups, sit-ups, run, max my PT test every time, right? It was easy. Even whenever long runs, I'd be like, if we ran slow, it'd be hard, right? It'd be hard on my knees. But it was easy. And I tell you what, the difference is I kind of wish it would have been hard back then, and I would have felt all that pain back then, right? Because now it's, as I notice, I'm becoming mortal. Like, as you get older and you become mortal in these running things, that's whenever the excuses creep into your head, and you're like, I never felt like this before, right? Like, I got ankles clicking and my knees always, you know, I'm like, what's going on? And because you're starting to feel that pain that you never had, that you never had to deal with before, and so it gets to you. Kind of wish that it was the opposite. Like, I was, you know, it was hard for me when I was younger, and as I you know, bust through that. But it's like, I used to think, oh, you know, ain't nobody gonna catch me in a run. I'm fast. And now I'm not so fast.
Well, I mean, I've already thought, like, you know, like, oh, well, you know, the guy that Shane, the axe holder, is gonna, you know, he's got he's got land he can run on, and you know, he's got, you know, the availability to do this and do that, and you know, time to run at Turkey Mountain for hours. I got kids, and you know, I've already met, you know, and then I'm like, you know what? If I really wanted to, I could make time to do that, or I could make time, or find a different way to do something similar, or work on it, you know, dry fire, anything. I mean, the truth of the matter is, for my own personal beliefs, I don't think I shoot enough. I don't think I work out enough. I mean, I do more than a lot of people. You do too, right?
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, it's so easy to get in that mindset to where, like, well, he just won because he's better set up, you know, to win. So if I had that, I would be able to do it. Well, it's just bullshit.
That is bullshit. That is an excuse. That's 100% an excuse, and it's easy to slide into that excuse. And you know, I wanted to this last year. I kind of took I took off the running because I was like, man, I want to let my body.
What? The live chat's completely over my face.
What?
It's probably because I'm so red.
Seriously, that's how it looks.
I guess that's what Cody just texted us.
Oh, here, I don't know how to fix
What were you saying now?
Oh, well, I didn't do that. Weird. I took basically a whole year off of running for real, like, and to see how my body, if it would heal. Like, I was going through hell, felt like, and probably I feel better. I noticed even in that winter one, like, I felt, and I know it's totally different. I mean, I finished the 20K, did it. I made it. I actually ran further because I ran a mile out almost. I had to run back another mile and then run back out because I forgot my card. But finished it, and my body it's I think as you get older, I think the rest is key. But I mean, I took a year, so that's kind of
How long? You've been taking a couple days off to rest? Well, I took a year. Feeling pretty good.
But I do feel, I mean, the runs, we did these little runs. It's hard, but I don't feel like I was, like cardiovascular wise, I don't feel like I lost it. But I work out every day at lunch, right? And I've been doing
harder than normal.
Yeah, much harder than normal.
Yeah.
And I also, have been walking long distances, right? Or longer distances. So no running, just kind of trying to take low impact. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how you maintain a level of intensity without eventually just degrading your body, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think you take a beating. I think it's because you run so aggressively and out and all weird. You know what I mean? Like, I think we were talking about that the other day, and you look at people that have longevity in running.
Yeah, and got this.
They've got a real controlled run. Like I run like I'm like,
yeah,
like it's a, there's like,
yeah. If there could be it's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex chasing like a chicken, where the chicken's like, man, nothing's getting hurt on that thing. Tyrannosaurus Rex is like toes are popping and ankles popping, and knees popping.
I don't run.
But see, and I've thought about that. Like, I don't think I could go to a running class. Because for one, I'd be like, come on, man. And I don't know. It's typical. Like, it'd probably be difficult,
Mm-hmm.
But I also think at the same time, like, I mean, how improper can you be running? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, so I was thinking about that after we had talked about it, because it was, you said you were doing the whole, like, you got your head
my hips underneath me.
Right. And so races that I used to run when I was in high school, and I was good at it. I was really fast, but they weren't like mile races. I used to run the 400-meter dash, and I would win every time one other guy wasn't there, right? Or a good portion of the time. And so, but that's a different type of running. That's like a stride run, almost like where you're running on your toes for the entire run. And then you run. Then there's another run that I would run. It'd be like an 800-meter dash, right? Yeah. It would be Then they say, okay, you got to change the way you run here, and that's heel strike. You need to heel strike. Well, that's how you get taught. And now you realize that heel striking is 100% wrong.
See, and I read something. It's like everything else in medicine or health or whatever. Like I read something the other day that it's not imperative that you land mid-foot or whatever the run thing is.
Like really?
They said that there's too much focus being made on that one statement from that one dude or something, and like people are worried about it so much that they're trying to overcorrect or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a point where you just feel comfortable. I did feel better the ballerina thing, the head up.
You feel like you got to take short, choppy steps though,
steps forward,
right? You don't feel like you're striding it out.
Should I strap all this shit on when I run on this? And it's like I'm doing a shuffle out of the gate. It looks like I'm playing like a choo-choo train. That old lady I saw walking out of Walgreens today with 2 bags, like moving slow.
Oh,
dude, I cannot believe someone in the comments, one of our friends, is telling me to beat Oprah's time. I cannot believe Oprah ran.
I don't believe that's her time.
I think it's true. I think that was.
I mean, no, because that booty, that Oprah booty, thing was big. Immediately was like,
I thought the same thing. Well, I told my computer to wait 4 hours before it was going to reinstall updates, and now it's just installing updates.
Yeah, that Oprah booty that's probably where she got her speed.
The hamstrings, right?
Where that and hamstrings gluteus. Meet that glute.
I can't imagine Oprah doing anything fast.
I don't know, but wasn't Oprah hot at all kind of in the 80s? I mean, other than her face?
When she was Connie Chung.
No, Connie Chung was never hot.
Connie Chung had the same reaction as that girl at the gym today faced. Like, her feet could be on fire and she'd have like...
I told you about her, right? I said,
Dude, Connie Chung, what happened to her? We talked about her before?
I don't know.
She was married to Regis Philbin, wasn't she?
No. She was
Phil Donahue.
She was in Gremlins. Wasn't she the guy who sold him the Mogwai?
I don't know. Whatever. Connie Chung was on like CNN, wasn't she?
No, she was Tom Brokaw's old lady.
I thought she was married to Phil Donahue. He had
Maybe she is. Let's see.
Gary Mitchell glasses too.
Jerry Mitchell. Gary. Connie Chung. All right, let's find out what's going on with her. I'm excited to give away the
axe?
Yeah, that axe.
Got to think of your speech,
Maury
man.
Povich. I'm not making a speech. You are.
I would think it would be ideal if one of us had the
Killzone speech.
Yeah, like the stage face enough to reenact the entire Killzone speech without laughing or breaking character or anything would be amazing.
Would be great if we could.
And then just walk
pull it
off and not even say it's from Killzone, because some people would surely have to know, like, man, I've heard this before, you know.
Maybe, or they'd be like, "Let's run him for president."
And that everyone started yelling, "Yeah!" I don't. I'd play it.
People would be like, "Hellgast, who?"
Yeah, my people.
You know who that is? That guy's voice, right?
It's the dad from 25th Hour, right? And the uncle from Braveheart.
He's also the guy in Long Kiss Goodnight, right?
He is?
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Freeman?
No. Morgan Freeman's not in that.
Morgan Freeman's not in the Long Kiss Goodnight?
No.
What are you getting ready to play?
The speech.
Oh, okay. I was just working for my phone because my computer's been shutting down for... Yeah, play the whole thing.
All right. We're gonna get in trouble for this?
Probably.
My
Might
people,
as well show it.
sons and daughters of Helgan, for many years we have been a broken nation, shunned, oppressed, and conquered by those we sought to escape. 10 years ago, I asked for time, and that time was granted by you. You, the strength in my arm, the holders of my dreams. Our forefathers embarked on the greatest exodus in the history of all mankind. An exodus for freedom. Helgan became that freedom. Our new world changed our bodies. At first, it weakened us, but in fact, we were growing stronger. In the time you have given me, I have rebuilt our nation. I have rebuilt our strength, and I have rebuilt our pride. Our enemies at home have been re-educated. We have given them new insights into our cause. On this day, we stand united once more. On this day, those driven to divide us will hear our voice. On this day, we shall act as one, and we shall be ignored no more.
General Adams, sir. We got multiple Hellgas vessels approaching. What do we do, sir?
Fire!
He says some more stuff, right?
Yeah.
That was like top of the line graphics. Right?
Defenders of the Helgas dream, now is our time!
I mean, you cannot
Well
tell
done.
me if someone.
I would be like, if you could pull it off, say it straight faced,
With, yeah.
and just
Yeah.
pounding stuff.
Hold that axe
Yeah.
up.
Now is the time.
It'd be amazing.
Dave,
There's no way, though. I mean, I would
No.
start laughing or say, I can't do this.
uh,
If we could hire a professional voice guy to do it, I'd do it.
maybe the other Meeks could do it. Because or Al could do it. Because they can play stuff straight. Like they, look at you. You don't know if they're joking or not.
Yeah. I'm trying to read the comments on the YouTube and the comments on this group text. 'Cause
Yeah.
someone said you got the Gary Oldman
Gary Oldman's hair back.
Gary Oldman haircut.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, this will be the podcast prior to the run and gun. So all the listeners that are doing it, good luck to you, and we'll see you out there. And let's do some hot zone bullshit.
All right. Well,
Play a commercial.
I think the voice is perfect on that.
This computer's been shutting down the entire time.
Yeah. You have to talk to these guys. I don't know if they can still hear you.
Can you guys hear right now? While this is playing?
Mm-hmm. Ready? Hold on. You guys can't hear us? Huh? I guess YouTube can't hear us whenever we're away.
Yeah. So when the commercial's playing, it's silence.
Uh-huh. They're going to be like, oh, what's going on? Dead air.
So I want to. I was going to talk about that article that was sent to us about some strange radio waves being picked up, possible alien communication.
Oh, by one of our listeners?
Yeah, and
Said that it's going to be fat people that invade the universe?
yeah,
Or fat aliens?
fat aliens.
Because
See
the
if you can
universe
pull
knows.
that up.
Yeah, I
But
will.
There's
See.
a my computer's
That's always the
back-
excuse.
It's back on now, starting Windows. So that article, there was an article yesterday on Fox News that said NASA engineer says aliens are living in the rings of Saturn,
Really?
building spaceships in the rings of Saturn.
So wait, do they live on Saturn or are they living in the rings of Saturn?
I think they were living in the rings.
So are they from Saturn?
They're aliens. They're from outer space.
Well, if it's Saturn, they'd be alien to to the world, right? To the Earth.
I'm not sure.
Maybe they're not. They're all about Saturnalia, man. They're Satan worshippers then.
But
Maybe those aliens are actually demons that live on the rings of Saturn, and they're gonna, that's the whole thing, right? Be breaking laws of physics,
That may
doing
be true.
stuff.
But
All right, this is the article.
comes from AFP.com.
Mm-hmm.
Says some very particular signals have been noticed coming from a star just 11 light years away. The mystery has gripped the internet as speculation mounts about the potential for discovery of alien life on the red dwarf star known as Ross 128. Man, that's a pretty lame.
Yeah. Ross.
We met some aliens, people. Where's he? Where?
They're Rossonians.
Yeah, they're from Ross. What? Ross. Despite the best attempts of astronomers to put rumors to rest, in case you're wondering, our current alien hypothesis is at the bottom of many other better explanations. Said a blog post by Abel Jimenez. Says Abel Mendez, director of the Planetary
Where am I at?
Habitability Laboratory. Is that what that says?
It's a haberdashery.
I can't see. Can't run the run again. at the University of Puerto Rico. Something unusual first came to light in April and May when the team was studying a series of small and relatively cool red dwarf stars, some of which are known to have planets circling them. Ross 128 is not known to have planets, but we realized there were some very peculiar signals in the 10-minute dynamic spectrum that we obtained. What is going on?
I'm fixing it for you.
From Ross 128. They were consistent of broadband, quasi-periodic, non-polarized pulses with very strong dispersion-like features.
Fucking ham operators up there.
We believe that the signals are not local radio frequency interferences, since they are unique to Ross 128, and observations of other stars immediately before and after did not show anything similar. There are three main possibilities to explain the bursts. They could be emissions from similar to solar flares. They could be emissions from another object in the field of view of Ross 128, or they may be a burst from a high orbit satellite. So where's the aliens part? Since the signals are likely too dim to be picked up by other radio telescopes in the world, Mendez is a scientist at the Arecibo Observatory, joined with astronomers from SETI, would like to use the Allen Telescope Array and the Greenbank Telescope to observe the star for a second time late Sunday. The results of these observations should be posted by the end of the week, he said. I have a pina colada ready to celebrate if the signals result to be an astronomical in nature. So that's aliens.
Mm-hmm.
You think aliens are doing the same thing as like us?
Making you take a test to send out radio waves?
No.
Like, yep, well, guys.
Oh, God.
No? What do you think?
No, sending out transmissions to, so.
I mean, I would think that yes. I would think that they are.
I guess I'm too abstract in my thinking of aliens. Like, maybe aliens don't talk like we talk.
Well, it doesn't mean they talk like us, but there's got to be a universal language if they understand the universe. They understand
the universal language of love. It's like, no way am I getting humped and out of space by a giant red ape. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
It's been a while, but
I mean, yeah, I think that maybe that it's not that they don't talk like us, but they have to. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. Maybe they don't have the same laws of physics that apply to them, right? Like if they're dimensional beings. But is a dimensional being an alien, or is it a dimensional being, like a trans-dimensional being? What is it?
I don't know. I mean, I just think that.
I mean, are we talking about two different things there? Or are we talking about?
I hate to be a buzzkill, but he said that your house is on elf graves and they're pissed off.
All right, fine. We'll do that.
The blood's just gonna keep flowing. Unless,
Blood's just gonna keep.
Pays tribute to the elfin elders in space.
I'll do it. What do I do?
You must give of yourself to the great red ape.
Okay. How much?
Sexually.
Wonderful.
Hey, man, you don't have to move. You could do that other thing that the robot talked about.
Look, I know it's been a while, right? But I'm not gonna get humped by a giant red gorilla in space, okay? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Why is that cartoon's hilarious, and there's like nothing. It's like the Seinfeld of cartoons, but.
And I think it's one of the starts of cartoons where just abstract things happen, right? Like they drop the remote and it blows up.
Yeah, pointless.
Pointless things that are going on.
No, so aliens. There was an article a while back I read that said that maybe aliens on this other planet don't breathe oxygen at all. They breathe whatever it was. It was on that sulfuric. I can't remember what it was. Sulfur gas or whatever. And I was like, why is that just like now? Why is that like? Oh, that's groundbreaking.
Methane gas.
No, that's fine. I breathe that. But
just
you know what I mean?
Try to find our planet.
So if there's a planet that's got nothing but sulfuric gas, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously something that wants to live there is not gonna be like, you know what, I want to breathe oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everything that's based on life in the universe doesn't have to have the same life needs as human based, or
Right. We don't have like majority of people, I would say. That goes down to the very core of people, right? We don't have anything other than what we can see to base our opinions on, right? Or to base our thoughts on. So it's hard for us to, I think, to put ourselves in another thought process and say, okay, whenever you think, what does an alien look like? You know what I mean? Probably the best people that do that would be people that like science fiction writers or whatever, that actually try to push themselves to that limit of creative thinking. But majority of people, the minute that you think of alien now, it's kind of been pounded into our heads to think like what? The small green guy with the big eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's become almost like a cartoon, I guess, depiction of it. But it's accepted, right? I mean, you're right. It could be.
What if aliens are trying to communicate with humans by emitting light rays from stars?
Right. Like that's their.
The fucking guys are looking right at it. Why aren't they saying something back? And we're sitting there like shooting radio waves back, and they're like, "The fuck is that guy doing?" You know what I mean? That's what I think of when I think of the things, and I don't know. I just think if something like that's ever like verified, it's gonna freak me out. Just like at that time when they're like, "Hey, there's a giant space station built around this star." Like, holy shit, are you serious?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there was a name for that, and I already forgot it. We talked about it on this podcast before, where hydra or hyper globe or something like that, what they called it, deca globe or some weird thing.
I don't know. It turned out that was nothing, right? It was like,
well, we don't know,
space junk or something.
I think your parents went back in time, or something's happening. Something's happening to you on your YouTube. You're looking like Marty McFly playing guitar in the in the Back to the Future. Starting to fade, man.
Let me see.
You need to get your parents together so they can bang.
Oh yeah. Dude, I get the worst camera on this podcast.
Well, this one's attached to the computer I'm on. Otherwise, you could have it.
Let me see if this works. You just slap it around a little bit. I don't know. The alien thing could be, but how many times does this happen where they say, like, hey, there's aliens talking to us, and then it doesn't pan out? Oh, dude, if I hit it didn't do a damn thing.
No. Let's see if I can bring you back. I think I've got you back. I brought you back.
So the other thing I want to talk about was the Minneapolis police shooting that lady, that Australian woman. So, I tried to read up on this before, since we don't have a set list, and this was basically just a thrown together podcast that we're going to try to finish up in
20 minutes.
17
minutes.
But like I was reading on it today, and I went to the Huffington Post, and I went to Fox News. Both read the same. They both had the same information, which is nothing. It's like no information other than the fact that this lady called 911, said she thought she heard a sexual assault
taking place in an alley.
Yeah. And she comes out and she's talking to a guy through the window of the police car, and then the dude in the passenger seat just blasts her in the abdomen and kills her. And so I was, like it had some questions on there too. It said, well, did they go ahead and investigate the possible sexual assault, or was it just like, well, shit, we shot this person, time to go, forget about whatever she was reporting? Like,
yeah, that's a great question.
Like, why did someone just shoot a woman that was standing in the...
There was no weapons found as well.
But even if there were... So I've thought about that. Like, if
right. No, if
you're at your house and you're...
you call the cops.
Your truck got broken into, and you came outside and the guy jumps out of his truck and you can't tell if he's got a gun or not, right?
Right.
But you've got a gun because it's your house. You're
Mm-hmm.
trying to protect your shit. And he runs off. He doesn't get in the car and drive off. He runs off. You can't see him. So you call the cops. I mean, at that point, do you go lock up all your guns and stand there unarmed waiting for the police to show up?
I wouldn't think so.
Or would you sit there with protecting your shit until the police show up at the risk of being blasted by them because they think that...
I think calling the police is a bad idea all around anymore. I mean, we've seen all of the, welfare checks and whatnot end up in... Look at me.
I'm the
Look at
captain.
me. I'm the captain now. That might have been it.
I don't know. Like the whole story seems fishy, and it's like that. You remember here in Tulsa on the 4th of July, some dude stole some fireworks, and there's like a shootout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that ran the fireworks stand, they're saying, oh, they stole $600 of fireworks, and my son took after him, and they were shooting at him, and he shot like a 15-year-old kid and killed him. And like when I read that, I was like, what? Someone's lying.
Right, the story's not sewn together properly.
So the police ended up arresting the fireworks stand owner for shooting the guy. I guess the guy that was driving the car is like a convicted felon, had multiple, but they never found a pistol or a weapon or whatever, which, the Shannon Kepler case, they never found that pistol from that either. But I don't know, like something's doesn't feel right when I read it.
The Minneapolis one?
And
yeah.
it's probably because there's not been an explanation like, look, the dude fucked up, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's probably what happened. I don't know.
That's true, and we
to
talk
me,
about that
would
a
be
lot
better
on
than
here, right?
just sitting there like, damn it, we gotta approach this the right way. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Like,
but the pressure is on.
Shot her or whatever.
But we discussed this. The pressure is on. You gotta have their back, man. You gotta have their back. You gotta have their back. You gotta have their back. And the thing is so then the higher ups, we already see a decline in people becoming police officers, right? Like, so they say that it's getting harder. Now that might be pseudo news as well, but so it's like, oh well, if we prosecute this guy as an accident, you're gonna prosecute him no matter what. Like, if they came out and admitted it's an accident, number one, taxpayers are gonna have to pay the penalty, right? Because we're gonna have, it's gonna be shit tons of money going out, right?
Kind of like
and
this
so,
fourth trial for Shannon Kepler,
right? And then that guy's boss is gonna, what the fuck you doing putting a guy out there that just makes an accident? That's like, does he not know how to handle his firearm? And that, that guy's gonna go to jail because he should, right? Like, if you don't,
I could not imagine being.
You would go to jail if you accidentally shot somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was an accident. Now, especially you're on the.
Imagine that. I think of that a lot because when I was in the Navy, we had a bunch of 18, 19-year-old dudes that were cops with us. We're carrying pistols and shotguns and everything, and being police, right? So, like, I know you were 18 and 19 doing infantry stuff, but that's like the rules of like when to shoot and not to shoot as a base cop are a lot different.
Yeah, we don't have bullets to
I can't
arrest
imagine.
people.
I can't imagine. Given like. Because the state of mind, I think back to what I was in then, like I was just drinking and not at work, but
you told me your routine.
Yeah, I was partaking in the nightlife, fornicating,
sleeping,
and working out. And like I just can't imagine having all these people under you that you're responsible for. And because I would figure stuff like this, stuff like this is going to happen, right? There's no way to alleviate accidents, which I think that's what this is. I don't know. I have no idea because I don't know anything other than what everyone else has read in the news. But the guy would have to be like the chief or whatever is like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, what the fuck, man? What happened? Well, I was repositioning. My nuts were smashed, and I lifted up, pulled my gun out, and shot her on accident. Like, oh, for fuck's sakes, like, I don't know. I can't imagine being in that position whatsoever. Because
yeah,
I guess it's for one, it's a hell of a lot of trust. Of course, as a regular like citizen, you're putting a hell of a lot of trust in the police or the police force, saying, like, this guy's good. He's not gonna, pull shit like, happened in Tulsa in the past where people are planting money or drugs on people or getting busted doing that. They're in a position where we give them this responsibility to do their job. So I guess it takes a level of trust at some point, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen from it. I don't know what's going to come of it. It's going to be bad no matter what. Because that wasn't that in the same area where that Philando Castile dude got blasted?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, something needs to come. We have in the past year we've kind of went away from our
police talk.
Police talk on this show.
It happens all the time.
It's become so. It's like
we've had people say like, "Oh, it's the cop bashing show." Like, well, it's not a cop bashing show. It's the bashing show of someone that accidentally shoots a 40-year-old woman, or intentionally shoots a 40-year-old unarmed woman, like, and
gets away with it.
Yeah, like I've said
for the
before.
Most part.
I've got friends that are police officers. I've got friends that are federal agents. I'm not lumping them all in the same group, but surely you can see the difference of someone that's beating up an old lady on the side of the freeway in San Francisco to try to help save her from getting hit by a car.
Well, you don't know the full story, Nick.
Yeah.
You don't know the details, number one, and you don't know what it's like to be behind the badge.
Or raiding a house and throwing a fucking flashbang in a kid's crib and then not doing anything to help alleviate that situation, for a drug offense or something.
Or blasting a 11-year-old boy, 12-year-old boy because he had a screwdriver.
Where was that?
It was a welfare check.
Oh, the welfare check. One of my friends keeps getting welfare checks, and it scares me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still happening or not since I got off Facebook, but
I don't go onto regular Facebook.
Well, I guess we'll see. Guess we'll see what we'll see, won't we?
What do you want to do now?
What's that from?
I don't know.
Oh, that's from Under Siege.
Oh, that was on the other day, and
I was a good movie, man.
I was gonna take a picture of it.
That's one of Steven Seagal's better films, cinematic masterpieces.
Commander Krill. I sent you a picture, of Commander Krill, didn't I? In the text.
Gary Busey. Yeah, Gary Busey, right?
Dressed up as that woman. Yeah, he's huge.
I remember reading that the Navy didn't support that video because they thought it wasn't feasible to hijack a battleship. Like, well, yeah, but
that's not the point.
That movie was the reason I changed. I was going to join the Army.
That you wanted to be a Navy SEAL after
I saw that movie. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL.
What's his name?
Chief Ryback.
Ryback.
Yeah.
He was the cook.
Yeah. And goddamn cook's a SEAL. But that movie was good though. It's got Miss July 1985 in it.
Is that Erica Elniak?
I don't know how to say her last name. She's not even that attractive.
No, she's got no hips, no butt.
Looks like an alien head.
She just had huge boobs. It goes to say that back in the 80s, you didn't have to be like a stunner
to be in a movie.
Yeah, you just had to have big boobs. That's such a weird transition that I can't quite figure out. Like, why I don't think that huge boobs are the thing now, right? Like, that's not it.
No, it's big asses.
It's big asses,
but it's
right.
getting out of hand.
Yeah, it is getting out of hand.
Like, people are like injecting and implanting and
Got
stuff
their-
to where it's
got their own fucking set of bean bags back there. They
Yeah.
can just sit anywhere. Like whoop. They don't have to have a chair.
it's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Well,
All right. Well, I want to talk about one other thing before we go.
okay.
All right, but it'll be a fast one.
All right.
Okay, hold on. We gotta have. Should we
Not
do
gonna
another
hear us for a
commercial?
second. Yeah.
All right.
Just could play a commercial on the YouTube.
They can hear us here.
They can.
Yeah. I don't know
They
how.
couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Don't leave. Don't leave. Oh yeah, that's a good. I do want to talk about that.
Ticks,
Ticks.
bourbons. What's this?
That's our tinfoil hat music.
Oh,
Do you not like it?
I do. Just new. We
All
got a comment says estimated tick count for the weekend.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. Actually, that's great that they brought that up.
I'm not gonna have enough blood to suck. It's all gonna be
It's be coagulated and
yeah.
dry.
And ticks are gonna be like getting a hot bowl of soup. Whew, fuck, hot as shit. You gotta blow on it, son.
Like gravy.
Blow on it. Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. I think it was there was a podcast that was talking about it. It was a
Bourbon
science.
disease?
It was a science podcast. I can't remember. It's called. The title of the podcast was called Alpha Gal. And I was thinking about it today because somebody had said that there's a lot of ticks out there, right? I think it was
Ticks in
Cody.
my fucking yard.
He said there's a ton of ticks, and there's this new tick thing. It's not bourbons either. You get hot, then cold, then hot again. Now that's not happening.
Get that bourbon's disease.
This is they call it the Lone Star tick. So it's running across Texas. So I hope it
I
doesn't.
thought that was a joke based on the fact that the women that were being posted in that group text makes you not like meat.
Yeah, no, it's a legitimate makes not that you don't like it, you become allergic to it.
Stop eating meat.
Yeah, you got to stop eating meat. It's like Lyme's disease, but you got to stop eating meat. Makes you allergic.
How like rampant is tick disease?
I don't know, but I don't want that one because I like to eat
I don't want
steaks
any
and
of them.
chickens.
Fucking Lyme disease make you lose your arms and legs.
Are you serious?
Have you seen those people that lose their like because they get like infections and end up having to get amputated at the elbows and the knees?
From Lyme disease?
Yeah, I mean that's like a extreme case. That making me check my
Yeah.
jewels
Gooch.
here for ticks.
I'm gonna start taking some garlic.
That never fucking works.
Yeah, that works.
I've never had. The
Doesn't
only thing
work?
that works on ticks is pulling them off afterwards. Like, give them like a few hours to get attached and then pull them off. Because I think you got like
Wait, what?
certain time frame before they can transmit. They like got to link up to their host and then.
Oh,
Oh,
man. So
How
that's
are you allergic to meat? You just throw it up, or you get?
I don't know. I don't know, man, but I guess it messes you up.
I can't wait to pull ticks off my grapes. There's a lot of well, fuck. I'm just gonna spray down with. I hate insect repellent.
Yeah, it makes.
I hate sunscreen.
I think it's partially because we're probably part insect.
Well, I just remember when I was a kid getting blasted in the face with that green can of off. You know,
Yeah.
they're not. You know, it's funny those are. I always say like I don't remember getting bit by mosquitoes as much as when I was a kid. It's probably because my parents were like coating me in DEET. You know what I mean? But even then, like even when I would have that bug spray all over me, I remember getting. I remember having ticks on me as a kid.
I had tons of ticks
I'm
on me
looking
when I
up
was a kid.
Meat allergy tick disease.
Uh-huh.
What's it called?
Alpha Gal. alpha. It's a
What's the point of a?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, so this is I guess the tinfoil hat part of this, right? What is the intention of causing a meat allergy? Like, what's the universe like? Okay, what's the point of this? Why? Like, how does this evolve?
I don't know.
Do you think those ticks have been manipulated?
Like
some kind of
on a
environmentalist
government level?
Yeah, or environmentalist biology labs. Like, look, I know what we can do. We want to stop people from eating meat, right? Here's the deal. Hunters like to eat meat. Hunters are in the woods. They get ticks. I don't know.
Bourbon's disease.
I wonder if they're going to have the, are they out there this weekend, are they going to have the tick briefing?
Alpha-gal is an allergy to mammalian meat products, so reactions can occur from coming into contact with any type of meat or meat byproduct. From
Oh,
an
so we
animal
could eat
that
chickens.
Nurses its young. The tick bite has dramatically changed how I approach. Oh, that's this one, dude.
Dude, that terrifies me.
How do you tell if it's a Lone Star tick? Are they in Texas?
Yeah.
He said the Lone Star tick was the size of a pinhead and had died.
So we're good?
No, that's he found it on. This dude found it on his body. I've had multiple tick bites before. I've been in and out of the woods since I was a kid. I was a very active Boy Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout. Spent 6 years in the Army. I've had plenty of ticks in me. It's just this particular one. He said there are 16 other reported disorders that can be contracted from tick bites, but most ticks probably don't carry any disease. While it's a good idea to take preventive measures against ticks year-round, be extra vigilant in warmer months when ticks are most active. One way to avoid contact with ticks is avoid woody and brushy areas with high grass and leafy litter and walk in the center of trails. Use at least 0.5% permethrin. Spray your clothes with it and wear invisible shield clothing. Treat gear, boots, socks, pants, and even tents with permethrin products. Conduct a full body check. I always look forward to those when me and my wife used to go camping. Like, got to check for ticks, honey. Like, look.
Look everywhere.
Gotta check. They get in the crevices. Use a full body tick check.
Can you check my butthole, please?
Yeah. I don't want you to look at it, but I need you to. Or a full-length mirror to view all parts of your body upon return from tick-infested areas. Parents should check their children for ticks under the arms, in and around the ears, inside belly button, behind the knees, between the legs, around the waist, and especially in their hair.
Dude, the belly button is the one that freaks me out. Because there's like a spot in that belly button you can't get to, right? And
what I don't get is sometimes I've done a full complete tick check. Right?
No tick. Then all the next day you find a tick. You're like, what the hell where did it come from?
In the 7th grade. Did I ever tell you this story? In the 7th grade, I was sitting in pre-algebra, and I put my hands on my head, and I was scratching my head like this, and I was like, there's a scab on my head, and I pull it off. There's a huge
one of the big fat ones?
Looked like a sugar golden crisp.
Like the kind you pull off dogs?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, shit. You know, in 7th grade, shit like that's like super embarrassing for some reason.
Yeah,
I'd be like, hey, look at this fucking tick.
I just found this on my head.
Yeah. And I dropped it, and I couldn't find out where it went. And I was like looking all over without trying to look like I was looking for someone. So the girl that sat behind me went and be like, what are you looking for? Oh, this gigantic fucking tick I pulled off my head. But yeah, it was weird.
All right, so let's do one more thing and we're done. Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
What is it?
Let's do your rundown of what we're gonna take. So these guys, what are you gonna run with? You're gonna have GU, right? Every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
GU, fiber tablets. Water. I'm thinking about loading up a bottle of pickle juice.
It may be just like a cup. Oh, see, just take sips of it, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is you're already taking salt tabs, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to go too much.
I'm going to look like a fucking dude off Big Trouble in Little China when I walk across the thing retaining all this water. Who is that? Oh, that's Nick.
And then your heart's going to be pounding harder because
Yeah.
cause your. But I think it's a good idea. I mean, from everything I read, because that's the brutal killer out there, right? Cramps.
Electrolytes. And
Cramps are the
yeah.
killer, right? I mean, you can push through the
thing is, I was talking
tiredness and your legs being tired and the you can push through all that.
I was
But when
talking
you
to
get cramps,
Olga, I think that's her name, today at the running place, and she said some of the stuff will work for some people and some won't work for others. So it's like you can try it. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do basically what I did last summer, except try to eat more salt.
okay.
But
But the Endurolites are, I think, the best choice, though. I think you did good because they have minerals in there as well, right? And so not just salt.
I'm just worried about what I'm gonna eat between, because I know I'm not gonna feel like eating.
Sweet potatoes, man. Eat.
That's fuck with cinnamon and butter and shit.
No.
That's what I want on it.
Of course, gonna give it cinnamon butter,
Last
brown
time,
sugar.
I was dipping graham crackers in chocolate icing last summer. But you know what I'm not taking? This is gonna sound sacrilegious, but I'm not taking gummy bears.
I'm not either. I always have a hard time chewing them while I'm running, and I spit them out a lot of times.
Well, there's a lot of makes a lot of sticky
Syrup.
spit. Yeah.
Yeah, syrup, and I don't like
And-
that.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe for afterwards to like replace glycogen or whatever. But
Get your glycogens back.
yeah, get my glycogen. But
Who is spit stickler?
I'm not sure.
Mm-mm.
It's true though. That's even that lady. She's like, I thought she was getting on to me, but she's just foreign.
Uh-huh.
Cause she's like, "What you running?" You know. I'm like,
Oh.
I told her, and she's like, what is this? What are you eating?" Like, she's all mad. Like, chill out, lady.
Chill the fuck out. I'm
But
eating.
she gave me some good advices.
What are they? They're not sharing it with me.
I've told you I've told you everything that I know.
I don't know what it is.
I'm worried about my
everything.
neuromuscular massage tomorrow fucking me over. Because the lady told me to make sure and drink a lot of water before I show up because it'll cut down on the amount of pain that I experience.
Holy shit. How's water cut down on your
I have
pain?
no idea.
Neuromuscular. So what? I don't understand what
My
this
buddy
is.
went in there at work. He couldn't even walk straight, and she fixed him somehow. And then my boss went in there because he had
a bunch of
bad
voodoo. It's just
bad
that
hip.
Gave you a good tug job.
I need a good voodoo tug job to get rid of my hip. But he went in there with his hip fucked up, and she fixed it. So I don't know.
I want one of these.
Yeah, I'll tell you how it goes.
I don't
be. Speaking of which, let's do a ode to women. Then we got to go because I'm gonna go home and watch the rest of Heat. All right, so today at the gym, there's a fairly attractive. Well, she was really attractive. Two walking into the gym when I was meeting Mike there, and
I don't remember them. Was I there?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
the girl in the gray pants, the yoga pants. You said it.
Oh, yeah.
She's a pretty girl, right?
Uh-huh.
Real pretty. She ended up working out right next to us. We came in, looked like two people just beat the shit out of us because we ran.
We're just as red as you are
Yeah.
on YouTube right
Yeah.
now.
Red, sweating everywhere, like breathing, like bad breath from not eating lunch, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of slinging shit around on the shoulder press. And she comes right next to us and starts doing straight-legged deadlifts, right?
Uh-huh.
And so Mike, you know,
It's right next to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So Mike's like, "Hey, you mind if we use those 2.5s?
Yeah, it's a 2.5 pound weights.
Because there's none on our rack, or
Mhm.
you know, yeah, I guess you could have walked across the room and got them, but they're right there."
Uh-huh.
And I guess this is a sexist thing to say, you know.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, after reading a lot of the Huffington Post, but like instead of just being like, "Yeah, no problem," it's almost like
I was bothering her.
You're bothering her, and you're encroaching on her territory, or something. Like it's just like a shitty attitude. You know what I mean?
If it would have been a territorial thing, I'd have fucked her up. I mean,
and then there's another pretty girl in there that I've seen a few times, and so when I was leaving, she was parked right in front of my truck. Right?
Oh, okay, all right. Mm-hmm.
And you know, we had talked about her before,
mm-hmm.
and I was sitting there and I had like 17 text messages from that group text, and I was reading them, and I had my glasses pulled down so I could, because they got their
yeah, you're old.
No, that's the old. Look down the note. No, it's they're what do they call it? Polarized.
Oh yeah.
So you can't see shit sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it, and then I look up at her, and she's like glaring at me like I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then I back out, and I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? So my ode to women is to all those girls out there, like Gal Gadot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Smiling and happy, and don't take every little tiny interaction on a fucking daily basis as some sort of attraction or hitting on them. Like, just because I think, like, yes, that girl is pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's got nice legs or whatever and looks good in those yoga pants. Doesn't mean me saying, like, hey, can I grab these 2.5 pounds from your...
Mm-hmm.
It's not me like, hey.
Can I... Just the tip.
And a lot, girls, a lot of girls are saying, like, well, you know, a lot of guys aren't like that. They're going to, you know, hit on them or whatever. Like, well, fucking deal with it. I like I was telling you, I was at the gas station, had a completely toothless woman, no teeth from, like, I don't even know what teeth these are, from here all the way across.
Those the biting ones.
And she was across from me, like between the gas things, and she's looking around, and I was like, what the hell is this lady looking at? I thought she was going to stab me or something, right? Mm-hmm. And she leans over and she's like, you are just so handsome. I just want to tell you you're so handsome. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you, you know. Like,
it's easy. That's an easy thing to do. So say thank you.
I didn't say like
I'm just disgusted.
Yeah, or anything like that. And she's looking around because her husband was walking across the parking lot. This big fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh shit. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to just portray this attitude of like that you're pissed off, or and if you don't want people to talk to you, fine, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? But it's just, I don't know. It's like common decency.
You know what happens though? I'll tell you what happens in that gym or with people like that, right? Is that there are other people in there. There are other people that you can have interactions with that are attractive people or normal people, whatever. But you'll notice that that personalities shine through in the way that they carry themselves. Like, I'd never even spoke to that person today before I asked for those 2.5 pound weights, but I already knew
that was the reaction.
That was going to be the reaction, and I told you that. So, like, you can kind of tell, like, what you're gonna. Sometimes they'll catch you off guard, and people, but for the most part, you can kind of see it in the way that they carry themselves. And the gym is a very good place in judging that. Not always, though. Like, not always. There's a guy that works out there that's like this, just gigantic dude, huge shoulders, just and the other day, he was coming out of the door, right?
What the fuck's your problem?
yeah. He was coming out of the door, and he held the door for me, and I was like fucking 30 yards away.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, is this guy holding the door for me? So then, you feel obligated, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta. And I was like, man, you don't have to hold it. He's like, oh no, it's cool, man, it's cool. Like, I'm like, oh shit.
Then you're immediately like, guy wants to have sex.
Yeah. Then I'm like.
Hey man, I'm not gay, all right?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Don't hold the fucking door open for me. I get it myself.
I don't know. Just daily interactions, but the gym is always one of those places where things are. Is it because it's strangers? It's all these people coming to one place. They're coming from another place. They don't work together, right? It's always a weird interaction
I think
there,
that
right?
everyone thinks that everyone's silently judging the other people. I don't even know what the fuck half the other people. The only thing I'll judge is if you put a shitload of weight on and you're not even doing it.
Yeah, like if
Look at
you're
this guy,
squatting
he's
like
got-
this.
Yeah, doing knee flexes on the squat rack and like you're not benching that. You're flexing your elbows.
Exactly. All right.
Stay
That's
happy,
your ode to women.
Stay happy.
Yes,
Be
keep
friendly.
smiling. That's
Yeah,
really
be
good.
friendly. Just be a fucking decent human being.
I agree with that.
All right.
All right. There's one more commercial and we'll say goodbye.
right.
Fucking cracks me up every time. All right.
Yeah, that is perfect.
Who did that?
It's Ivan.
Is?
Yeah, perfect.
He
Well
I
done.
haven't got a picture of him, but
That is
now
well played.
now he's
He's on the radar.
Yeah. If he wants to start that battle. It's great. But that, you know what though? I've had the Gary Oldman hair before, so
Yeah.
you know.
All right, so that's it for tonight. Thanks for listening. Next week's show will be full length. I don't know if we're gonna have a bunch of guys on from Run again next week, or
I don't know. Maybe
We'll
what
see.
we'll have is a call in
Round
reaction roundtable.
roundtable discussion. But thanks again for listening. If you're a avid listener, thanks for sticking around. If you're new, we hope to keep you. Make sure and email us if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Other than that, good luck on the run if you're doing it, and
We'll see you out
next
there.
week's. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Adios, muchachos. Got John Meek scared of the meat disease.